23rd. We have had an extensive dry spell. It may be about 10 days with no rain at all. Hot weather, humid. I've done virtually no grass cutting at all. I've let the white clover grow. It's thanking me for that. On the deck we have the normal things: tomatoes, rosemary, geraniums, and a few odd things still left in pots. Need to water those tomatoes. I've been cleaning up bee boxes. This patch of ground right here, this little hilly piece, always dries out very, very fast. It must be just pure sand underneath there. The only thing that survives in there is that type of clover. Very, very deep rooted. But as you can see, it's burning up. Burning up. Let's have a quick look at the tomatoes. The center line here is the big tomatoes, and the ones on each side are the small fruiting and the medium size tomatoes. Not doing too badly. Need a lot of tying up. Need a lot of watering too in this weather. That's an asparagus which has decided to volunteer in my compost. As you can see, we have some tomatoes growing already. Thank goodness for that. Some of these tomato plants really flower quite profusely. That's really odd the way they do that, some of them. This is sweet potato growing in that pot. I can't grow them in the garden, otherwise the voles eat them out. And here is 4 pots of loofah, just starting to extend out in the hot weather we've been having. That one over there is actually starting to grow on the fence, which is the whole point. I'll have to shorten down the grass over there so that the loofah can benefit from the southern aspect of sun. Now, on we go. It's a bit windy today, so I'll try to stay out of the wind as much as possible. Turning right, because we now have bees. We have bees in the first 2 boxes. These 2. This one on the right is a very strong, healthy hive. The other one is somewhat weaker and is being preyed upon by the strong hive. The robbers are trying to rob out their stores. So I've got that screen over the front entrance, which slows them down at the very least. The robbers, that is. It's pretty hard to stop that from happening. Once they get the taste of easy sugar, they will make life difficult for you, the beekeeper. Lots of gypsy moth caterpillar. That tree is probably dead. The apple next to it is likely to survive. The gypsy moth has not had any effect on the pears, which is fortunate. Elderberries are about to flower. That's nice. And then over at the far end there, far end of the garden, there's another 2 actually apple trees that will likely die because they've been so thoroughly defoliated. Because it's been so dry, the beans have germinated and started, but they're not growing very enthusiastically. Right here too, there was an attack by a vole. They have a hole that comes out just about down here, so I blocked that hole off, and I'm hoping to keep them out. They will do a lot of damage. 3 double rows of succession plantings of gladiolus are in, but as you can see it looks really, really sandy, really, really dry. Just planted up that row with beans that I had to germinate in pots, because whenever I put seed in the ground, something like skunks or voles or mice would come along and eat the seed. The bush beans are not looking too bad. I've had a problem with volunteer potatoes growing in that patch from last year, and actually there is a volunteer potato right there that will need to be removed. I don't know if you can make him out, but that means that I have to dig into the ground about a foot down to dig out the tuber which has sprouted there. It's amazing how they can stay in the ground over the winter and still survive. This is the Frontenac Rhubarb that I rescued from the old folks' garden. This is my early potato coming along quite nicely. And look at my lettuce. I've been cutting and eating so many lettuce. They're huge lettuce. They must be 2-3 pounds of lettuce each one. Very pleased with that. Had a few potato bugs. Very nice rhubarb, strong, tall rhubarb. The asparagus, I think I explained in a previous video, was a bit of a disappointment. This is going to need to be cleaned out. And this has gone to rack and ruin because of the dry. Most of that light blue-green weed is lamb's quarters, which is quite good for greens, boiled greens. The garlic I will be harvesting very, very shortly, and those daffodils can come out anytime now. There's a line of dill right here. Oh, got hooked up. There's a line of dill there. I hope it comes and produces something. And here is one of my willows, and you can see there's a gypsy moth right there. Oh, excuse my language. And I think that's about it. Compost is doing well. Mustn't look too hard at the beans, otherwise I'll find another potato plant that needs digging out. Sick and tired of doing that. I must have dug out about 10 pounds of potatoes that I left in the ground. Ridiculous. Have to find the person who dug them and give him a good talking to. Anyway, lovely to have the white clover here. I just hope that the bees are making good use of it. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.